The Ten Rings, an ancient artifacts of unknown extraterrestrial origin that grant their wielder immense power, longevity, and control over energy and motion. Forged from an indestructible alien alloy, each ring functions as an independent energy conduit, but together they form a unified system that amplifies the user's physical and kinetic output to superhuman levels. The rings channel the wearer's life force into raw energy, creating concussive blasts, repulsive shields, or whip-like tendrils for combat and movement. They can also generate propulsion, enabling limited flight, and absorb external energy for redirection. Their power adapts to the user's will and emotional state, shifting in color and resonance depending on the wielder's intent. The artifacts also prevent cellular decay, granting effective immortality as long as they remain worn. When passed from Wenwu to Shang-Chi, the ring's energy signature changed from blue to gold, reflecting a new harmonic attunement, one rooted in balance rather than conquest. This transformation also triggered a beacon detectable across the cosmos, hinting at their non-Asgardian, possibly pre-celestial origin. In essence, the Ten Rings combine technology and mysticism. They are weapons, engines, and extensions of will, amplifying the nature of whoever commands them, for good or for domination. Mjolnir, an enchanted Asgardian warhammer forged by the dwarves of Nidavellir from the rare, nearly indestructible metal known as Uru. Commissioned by Odin, it was imbued with powerful enchantments that not only made it immensely durable and capable of channeling cosmic energy, but also tied its use to a moral condition. Only those deemed worthy could lift and wield it. This worthiness enchantment was designed to ensure that Mjolnir could never be used for selfish or malevolent purposes. When swung, Mjolnir can generate massive concussive force, manipulate the weather, and channel lightning directly from the Bifrost-connected energies of Asgard. It also returns automatically to its wielder's hand when summoned, regardless of distance. In battle, Thor uses it both as a melee weapon and as a ranged tool, capable of striking multiple enemies and returning in a continuous motion. Throughout its existence, Mjolnir has served as more than just a weapon. It acts as a conduit for Thor's power. When destroyed by Hela, its fragments still carried lingering enchantments, eventually used by Jane Foster when the hammer reformed in Thor, Love and Thunder. Its deep connection to the worthiness enchantment allows it to judge the intent and heart of any potential wielder, granting them the power of Thor only if they meet its divine moral standard. Stormbreaker, a powerful enchanted axe forged in the heart of a dying star by Atri, the same dwarven blacksmith who created Mjolnir. It was designed as both a weapon of immense power and a means of channeling the Bifrost, allowing its wielder to travel instantly across realms. The axe was created as part of Thor's desperate attempt to defeat Thanos after the destruction of Mjolnir. Its handle, made from Groot's own arm, symbolizes the union of Asgardian craftsmanship and nature's resilience. Unlike Mjolnir, Stormbreaker lacks the worthiness enchantment, meaning anyone strong enough to lift it can theoretically wield it. However, its immense power makes it nearly impossible for ordinary beings to control. The axe can summon and focus massive streams of lightning, cleave through energy blasts, and even injure beings of cosmic magnitude, such as Thanos himself. Stormbreaker's ability to summon the Bifrost makes it unique among all Asgardian weapons, giving its wielder instant access to any part of the universe. This property is tied directly to the magic infused within the weapon's core, enabling its use as both a destructive and transportive tool. Later in his journey, Thor entrusts Stormbreaker to his adopted daughter, Love, demonstrating its role as both a legacy weapon and an enduring symbol of power beyond worthiness. The Ebony Blade, a cursed sword forged by Merlin from a fallen meteorite and bound with dark enchantments. Created as a counterpart to Excalibur, it grants its wielder immense strength, near indestructibility, and the ability to cut through any substance, physical or magical. However, every use feeds the blade's blood curse, binding it more tightly to its wielder's soul. The sword's power draws from emotion rather than brute force. It amplifies aggression, channeling anger and hatred into unstoppable cutting energy while corrupting the user in return. Each act of violence strengthens the blade but erodes the wielder's morality, making it both weapon and parasite. Over time, it compels its bearer toward bloodlust, thriving on conflict to sustain its enchantment. The Ebony Blade also projects a mystical defense field, deflecting attacks and absorbing energy as long as the wielder remains engaged in combat. This makes its user nearly untouchable during battle, though the protection fades with hesitation or restraint. Once bonded, the blade cannot be abandoned. It recognizes its master's bloodline and psyche, whispering temptations to ensure continued use. In the MCU, Dane Whitman inherits this legacy, with the blade reacting to his touch by rippling like liquid shadow, a sign of sentience and recognition. The Ebony Blade's danger lies in its duality. It grants unmatched power, but consumes the very virtue that justifies wielding it. Its greatest strength and its curse are one and the same. Gungnir, the royal spear of Asgard, and one of the most significant weapons in Asgardian history. Forged from Uru, the same metal used to create Mjolnir, it was imbued with immense mystical and elemental power, symbolizing the authority of Odin himself. Gungnir's design allows it to channel vast amounts of magical and cosmic energy, functioning as both a weapon of destruction and a conduit for Asgard's power. Its mere presence amplifies the wielder's energy output and control over the Bifrost Bridge, the cosmic gateway connecting realms. The spear can project powerful energy blasts, pierce nearly any material, and remain unshaken by physical or magical forces. Odin often used it to command armies, manipulate energy fields, and enforce his rule across the 9 realms. It was also capable of opening or closing the Bifrost without Heimdall's sword, acting as a master key to Asgard's interdimensional travel network. When Odin's reign ended, Gungnir became a symbol of transition, later seen in the hands of Loki, who briefly used it as a means of control and deception. The weapon's true power, however, lies in its connection to the very essence of Asgard's monarchy. Whoever wields Gungnir holds dominion not just through physical might, but through the mystical sovereignty it represents. Loki's Scepter, a weapon of alien origin bestowed upon him by Thanos to aid in the Chitauri invasion of Earth. Designed to serve both as a staff and a control device, it channels the energy of the Mind Stone encased within its blade. The scepter can emit highly concentrated blue energy blasts, powerful enough to destroy vehicles, pierce armor, or incapacitate superhumans. Its most infamous ability, however, is mind control. By touching the tip of the scepter to a person's chest, Loki could override their free will, bending their thoughts and actions to his command. The scepter also grants its wielder heightened awareness and telepathic communication through the Mind Stone's energy field. Loki used this to maintain contact with Thanos and his armies during the Battle of New York. After his defeat, the scepter fell into the hands of Hydra, who used it for genetic and energy experiments. These experiments eventually gave rise to the enhanced twins Wanda and Pietro Maximoff. When the Avengers recovered the scepter, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner used it to create Ultron, unknowingly transferring part of the Mind Stone's consciousness into a new AI being. The scepter's dual legacy, as both a weapon of subjugation and a tool of creation, marks it as one of the most consequential weapons in MCU history, bridging the gap between alien warfare and artificial intelligence. Thanos' double-edged sword, a massive dual-bladed weapon designed for both offense and defense. Forged from an unknown but nearly indestructible alien alloy, it possesses extraordinary sharpness and durability, strong enough to withstand strikes from both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker simultaneously. The weapon's unique structure allows Thanos to wield it with immense precision, using its rotational momentum to deflect energy blasts and even parry attacks from some of the most powerful weapons in existence. Unlike most Asgardian or Earth-forged weapons, this blade appears to resonate with Thanos' own physical strength, rather than any mystical enchantment. It acts as an extension of his combat prowess, reflecting his tactical mastery and brute endurance. During the final battle in Avengers Endgame, Thanos used the sword to overpower multiple Avengers at once, including breaking Captain America's vibranium shield, a feat no other weapon had achieved before. Its design also provides defensive capabilities. Thanos could spin the blades rapidly to generate a shield-like barrier that redirected high-energy attacks. This combination of durability, balance, and destructive potential makes it one of the deadliest melee weapons in the MCU, rivaled only by divine or cosmic armaments. Though it was ultimately destroyed in battle, the double-edged sword remains a testament to Thanos' philosophy of strength and precision over mystical dependence. Necrosword, also known as the All Black, is a weapon of divine corruption and darkness, wielded by Gore the God Butcher. In the MCU, it manifests as a living symbiotic blade, capable of forming and reforming from shadows. Its origins trace back to ancient cosmic forces, and it grants its user the ability to slay gods, a power that few weapons in existence possess. The sword's dark matter composition allows it to extend, reshape, and manifest additional weapons, such as tendrils and spikes, effectively transforming Gore's body into a conduit of pure void energy. The Necrosword not only serves as a weapon, but also as a parasitic force that feeds on its host's rage and suffering. It grants superhuman strength, speed, and durability, while continuously corrupting its wielder's mind and body. The longer it is used, the more it drains the life force of its user, binding them closer to death. Its dark energy can destroy divine beings, pierce celestial armor, and regenerate itself, even after being shattered, though it ultimately succumbs to powerful magical or divine energy. In Thor: Love and Thunder, the sword's destructive influence drives Gore on his mission to exterminate all gods. Its end comes when Jane Foster, wielding Mjolnir, shatters it into fragments of light, freeing Gore from its control before it disintegrates completely. The Necrosword remains one of the most lethal and cursed weapons ever depicted in the MCU, a creation of pure malevolence that transforms vengeance into annihilation. And that wraps up the MCU's most powerful artifacts. Objects so dangerous even Thanos might think twice before collecting them all. If you enjoy a deep dive into Marvel's magical and cosmic relics, that subscribe button like you're snapping the Infinity Gauntlet, but, without erasing half the audience.